the forbidden attraction nobody warns you about. Cuban women will stop you in your tracks before you even realize what happened. There is something in the way they move through Havana's streets, a rhythm in their walk that matches the salsa music pouring from every doorway. Their confidence is not learned from books or social media. It is woven into their DNA from generations of women who survived revolutions, embargoes, and hardship while never losing their femininity or fire. They dress with whatever they have and somehow look better than women elsewhere with unlimited resources. Their skin glows under the Caribbean sun in shades ranging from porcelain to deep mahogany. But here is what truly captivates. These women possess an intelligence and wit sharpened by living in a country where nothing comes easy. They can discuss philosophy, fix a vintage car engine, dance until dawn, and cook a meal that will make you weep. They flirt like it is an Olympic sport, yet demand respect with just a glance. The beauty is undeniable, but the depth beneath that beauty is what leaves you changed forever. And if you think their allure exists in isolation from the island itself, you understand nothing yet. Because Cuba is not just a country. It is a living contradiction, a place frozen in time while racing forward, an island that should not work but somehow does. And everything about these remarkable women makes perfect sense once you understand the 15 facts about Cuba that the world deliberately keeps hidden. Fact 1. The island that changed world history. Cuba sits just 145 kilometers south of Florida, close enough that on clear days you can almost sense its presence across the water. This tiny island of 11 million people nearly triggered nuclear war in 1962. Soviet missiles positioned here could have reached most major cities in North America within minutes. For 13 days in October, the world held its breath while two superpowers played chess with human existence. President Kennedy blockaded the island. Khrushchev threatened retaliation. Humanity stood at the edge of extinction. The crisis ended, but Cuba's strategic importance never diminished. Its location at the entrance to the Gulf of Mexico means whoever controls Cuba influences all maritime traffic in the region. This geography explains centuries of international obsession with this small Caribbean nation. Fact 2. The longest embargo in modern history. The economic embargo imposed in 1960 began over 60 years ago and continues today. No other country has faced such sustained economic isolation in the modern era. American companies cannot trade with Cuba. American tourists technically cannot visit for pure tourism, though regulations have loosened and tightened repeatedly. The impact is visible everywhere. Cubans earn average salaries of $30 to $50 or 28 to 47 euros monthly. Yes, monthly. A doctor makes approximately $67 or 63 euros per month. An engineer earns similar amounts. This forces educated professionals into tourism jobs where tips from foreigners can exceed their monthly salary in a single night. The economy operates on two currencies, creating bizarre distortions. Tourists use one currency while locals use another. A meal in a tourist restaurant costs what a Cuban earns in a week. This dual reality defines everything. Fact 3. The cars that refuse to die. Drive through Havana and you enter a rolling museum of automotive history. 1950 Chevrolets, 52 Buicks, 57 Fords. These classics dominate the streets not by choice but necessity. After the revolution, new cars stopped arriving. Cubans kept their existing vehicles running for over 60 years through ingenuity that borders on magic. Engines from Soviet Lotus power bodies from Detroit's golden age. Parts are fabricated by hand when originals cannot be found. A 1956 Chevy might have a diesel engine from a Russian truck, brakes from who knows where, and interior bits improvised from whatever was available. These cars are not collector items. They are workhorses, taxis carrying tourists and locals across the island. Owners maintain them with devotion because replacement is impossible. The sound of these engines rumbling through colonial streets creates a soundtrack that exists nowhere else on Earth. But here is the twist nobody expects. In recent years, newer cars have started appearing, mostly from China. The automotive time capsule is slowly closing, making this moment in Cuban history fleeting and precious. Fact 4. The education system that shocks the world. Cuba has a 99.8% literacy rate, higher than many wealthy nations. Education is completely free from kindergarten through doctoral programs. Medical school costs nothing. Engineering degrees cost nothing. The country produces more doctors per capita than almost anywhere on Earth. Cuban medical brigades deploy to disaster zones worldwide, from Haiti after the earthquake to West Africa during Ebola outbreaks to Italy during the early COVID pandemic. This highly educated population should create prosperity, but the economic system prevents it. Brilliant minds drive taxis or serve drinks because those jobs pay more than using their degrees. The contradiction is maddening. A nation that invested everything in human capital cannot utilize that capital effectively. Yet walk into any conversation with a Cuban, and the education shows immediately. They are informed, articulate, and possess perspectives shaped by reading banned elsewhere and thinking freely within constraints. Fact 5. The healthcare paradox. Healthcare in Cuba is free and available to all citizens. Life expectancy rivals developed nations. Infant mortality rates are impressively low. The country developed its own COVID vaccines when access to foreign vaccines proved difficult. Cuban doctors are respected internationally, yet hospitals lack basic supplies. Patients bring their own sheets, food, and sometimes even medicine. Buildings crumble. Equipment is decades old. The system works through the dedication of medical professionals who perform miracles with almost nothing. Foreigners come to Cuba for medical tourism, paying for treatments at special facilities with modern equipment. These facilities exist in parallel to the system serving Cubans, creating another layer of dual reality. The contradiction is stark but somehow functional. Fact 6. The music that lives in every molecule. Music in Cuba is not entertainment. It is oxygen.
Son, salsa, rumba, mambo, cha-cha-cha.
These rhythms were born here and conquered the world. Walk any street in Havana, Trinidad, or Santiago de Cuba and music pours from windows, doorways, and squares. Old men play drums on street corners. Children dance before they walk. Teenagers form bands in crumbling buildings and create sounds that would fill stadiums elsewhere. The Buena Vista Social Club album introduced the world to Cuban music legends in the 90s, but it barely scratched the surface. Live music happens everywhere, constantly, with a quality that defies the poverty surrounding it. Musicians play vintage instruments held together with tape and prayer. They perform in venues with no air conditioning where sweat drips from the ceiling. And they create magic. The rhythm is infectious, primal, impossible to resist. Even if you have never danced in your life, Cuba will change that. Fact 7. The beaches that rival paradise. Varadero Beach stretches for over 20 kilometers of powdery white sand and turquoise water so clear you can see your feet in chest-deep water. It ranks among the best beaches in the Caribbean, competing with anywhere in the Bahamas or Turks and Caicos. Cayo Coco, Cayo Largo, and Playa Paraíso offer similar beauty with fewer crowds. Palm trees provide shade. Coral reefs just offshore teem with tropical fish. The water temperature stays perfect year-round. All-inclusive resorts line these coasts, filled with Canadian and European tourists escaping winter. But here is what strikes you. Just kilometers from these pristine beaches, Cubans struggle daily with basic necessities. The contrast between tourist zones and local reality is jarring. A day pass to some beaches costs what locals earn in a month. Two worlds exist side by side, barely touching. Fact 8. The cigars that define luxury worldwide. Cuban cigars represent the pinnacle of tobacco craftsmanship.
Coiba, Montecristo, Romeo y Julieta.
These names command respect among cigar enthusiasts globally. The tobacco grows in Pinar del Rio province, where soil and climate conditions create flavors that cannot be replicated elsewhere. Every step remains handmade. Workers roll cigars on their thighs using techniques passed through generations. A single roller might produce 100 cigars daily, each one inspected for perfection. The smell inside a cigar factory is intoxicating, rich and earthy and complex. Genuine Cuban cigars can cost $20 to over $500 or €19 to over €470 each for rare editions. The global demand never diminishes despite the embargo making them illegal in certain countries. This only increases their mystique and value. Fact 9. The rum that flows like water. Havana Club rum is Cuba's liquid gold. Aged in oak barrels under Caribbean sun, it develops smoothness that cheap rums never achieve. A bottle of 7-year Havana Club costs about $12 or €11 on the island, but triple that internationally. Locals mix it with cola and lime to make Cuba Libre, the drink that embodies the island's spirit. Mojitos were invented here, originally a medicinal drink before becoming a global cocktail sensation. Daiquiris were perfected at El Floridita Bar in Havana, where Hemingway drank them by the dozens. The rum flows at every celebration, every gathering, every evening on front stoops across the island. It is social lubricant and cultural tradition combined. And the hangovers are surprisingly gentle, locals claim, because the quality surpasses commercial production elsewhere. Fact 10. The revolution that never ended. Fidel Castro led the revolution that toppled the Batista dictatorship on January 1, 1959. He ruled until 2008, when illness forced him to hand power to his brother Raúl. The revolutionary generation still dominates politics and culture. Propaganda covers buildings. Revolutionary slogans echo everywhere. The rhetoric never changed even as the world transformed around it. Older Cubans remember the early revolutionary idealism and the brutal realities that followed. Younger generations grow restless with speeches about sacrifices their grandparents made. They have internet access now, though limited and expensive. They see how people live elsewhere. They question why ideology should mean poverty. The generational divide grows wider each year. Change is coming, slowly, inevitably, but the old guard resists releasing control. This tension defines modern Cuba. Fact 11. The capital that crumbles and captivates. Havana is unlike any capital city you have ever seen. Old Havana features colonial architecture from the 1500s, with massive fortresses protecting the harbor. Buildings display extraordinary craftsmanship with carved balconies, grand columns, and elaborate facades. But many are collapsing. Literally, walls crack, roofs cave in, entire structures lean at alarming angles. Residents still live in these crumbling buildings, hanging laundry from balconies that seem ready to fall at any moment. The decay creates haunting beauty, like ruins from a lost civilization, except people still inhabit them. Restoration efforts focus on tourist zones while local neighborhoods deteriorate. Walk from tourist Old Havana into residential areas and witness the stark divide. Yet even in the poorest neighborhoods you find color. Buildings painted vibrant blue, pink, yellow, and green. Music from windows. Children playing in streets. Life persisting despite everything. Fact 12. The spiritual blend nobody expected. Catholicism arrived with Spanish colonizers. African slaves brought Yoruba religious traditions. These merged into Santeria, a syncretic religion where Catholic saints correspond to African orishes. Shrines appear in homes across the island. Ceremonies involve drums, dancing, animal sacrifice, and possession by spirits. Practitioners wear specific colored beads indicating which orisha protects them. Many Cubans practice both Catholicism and Santeria simultaneously, seeing no contradiction. Religious processions wind through streets with Catholic imagery, while Santeria rhythms provide the soundtrack. This spiritual fusion reflects the broader Cuban experience, taking elements from different worlds and creating something entirely new that works according to its own logic. Fact 13. The baseball obsession that defies logic. Cubans do not just like baseball, they live it. The sport arrived from America in the 1800s and became a national passion. Cuban players are extraordinary, combining natural talent with rigorous training from childhood. Many defect to play in professional leagues abroad where salaries are astronomical compared to Cuba. Those who stay play for pride and country in a domestic league with passionate fans. Games fill stadiums with crowds that rival professional sports anywhere. Arguments about players and teams dominate conversations. Old men debate statistics with the intensity of scholars discussing philosophy. Baseball provides escape, entertainment, and national identity all combined. Fact 14. The people who smile through everything. Despite shortages in salaries and crumbling buildings and political restrictions, Cubans smile. They laugh. They celebrate. Families gather on stoops in the evening sharing whatever food they have. Neighbors help each other without question because survival requires community. Resourcefulness is a point of pride. If something breaks, they fix it. If fixing is impossible, they improvise something new from the broken pieces. This resilience is not grim determination. It is joyful defiance. They dance when they should despair. They joke when they should complain. They find pleasure in small moments because small moments are what life offers. This spirit is magnetic. You arrive as a tourist and leave questioning everything you thought you knew about happiness and necessity and what truly matters in life. Fact 15. Why they call it sinful and why that misses the point. Sensuality permeates Cuban culture in ways that make conservative societies uncomfortable. The dancing is intimate and suggestive. The music pulses with sexuality. The interactions between men and women crackle with energy. Beauty is celebrated openly without pretense or shame. Relationships form quickly and passionately. Life is lived in the moment because the future is uncertain. This openness, this celebration of physical pleasure and human connection, earned Cuba its reputation. But calling it sinful reveals more about the observer than the observed. Cuba embraces life in all its dimensions because scarcity makes every experience precious. Joy is not postponed. Pleasure is not guilty. Connection is not shameful. This is not sin. This is survival through celebration. This is humanity refusing to be diminished by circumstances. And this is why Cuba changes everyone who truly experiences it. Share your perspective with us now. Drop a comment telling us which city or country you are watching from right now. Did these 15 facts about Cuba surprise you or confirm what you suspected? What shocked you most about this island nation? Hit that hype button and smash the like button to help this channel grow and reach more people who want the real truth about destinations around the world. It is completely free and it means everything to us. Thank you for that support. Do not stop your journey here. Click one of the suggested videos appearing on your screen right now to discover even more mind-blowing curiosities about other incredible places that will challenge everything you thought you knew about our world. See you in the next adventure.